When Bugner sets up attacks like that, you just wish he'd do it rather more often. Because in moments like that, he really does look like a class fighter. And he might have Gizzi going now. The Welshman's all over the shop, and he's hanging on. And Bugner's going for the finish in the 7th round. And he might well have his man now. Gizzi's in real trouble. He's bleeding from somewhere, and he's looking desperately tired. And Harry Gibbs is looking very closely into his eyes now to see if he's fit to carry on. And his mouth's bleeding, and I think his nose has gone as well, and Gizzi is in real trouble. And we've still got just over a minute of this 7th round to go, and this could be the decisive round. Gizzi's legs look as though they've gone to me. Almost doubled in half by a body punch. And he's fighting now to survive, Gizzi. He'll do well to get through this round. 45 seconds to go. A left and a right, and he still hasn't gone down, but he's very near to going down. Battered from pillar to post, 30 seconds to go. And where's the big punch to put him down? It hasn't come. Gizzi is still on his feet. Ten seconds to go in this round, and he's just about going to get through it, and that's all. Harry Gibbs looking at him very anxiously. The bell will go any second. There it is. And Gizzi somehow has survived it, and he's done well to get through it. Real trouble there for the last 2 minutes of that round, and that could well be the end of Gizzi's challenge here, because he must be absolutely desperately tired, and he's still got 3 rounds to go. Now then, can Gizzi survive these 10 rounds? I doubt it myself. I think if Bugner sets up another attack like he did in the 7th, then we could well see him close this out against a very game Welsh fighter here. Gizzi's tried very hard to outbox his man, but giving away more than a stone in weight and 6 years in age, remember, I think has proved a little too much for him. But Gizzi doesn't lack anything in courage. These are slashing punches that Bugner's putting across, not really knockdown punches. Well, they could strike a medal for guts here and give it to Gizzi, because to all intents and purposes, he was finished in the last round, and he's still trying to box here in the 8th and doing it successfully. But it's just a sign of the left-hand work that Gizzi's been doing through this fight. And you'd have laid long odds against Gizzi outscoring Bugner in this 8th round, but that is what he's done. He's left-handed his way through to this 8th round, gets in, he's won the round on my card. Well, I think it's fair to say that that's a little disappointing from Bugner. He had his man all over the shop in the 7th round, looked absolutely certain to finish him. Gizzi survived it, and has not only survived it, but has come back with a good 8th. So we come to the last 3 minutes. With Bugner almost certainly having silenced a lot of his critics tonight. They said this was the first real test he'd ever had. I don't agree with that myself. I think his record stands up pretty well for a 20-year-old. And So the pattern for the last round, very much as it's been in most of the rounds, with Gizzi moving back round this ring, stabbing that left hand out, always trying to box his man and using the advantage he's got of the footwork and the left jab, but always running into trouble whenever Bugner opens up. Useful right hands from Bugner. I hardly ever remember seeing a right hand thrown by the Welshman. And Gizzi is still strong because he pushed all 15.5 stone of Bugner away from him then. A really game and gallant effort by Gizzi, who looked to be beaten in the 7th round, and here he is now with less than a minute to go and still boxing well. But his nose beginning to bleed again, and he takes a couple more hard ones, and it's a rough passage for him right to the end. And there's blood on Bugner's shoulder now, where the nose of Gizzi has bled on him. And we've got just over 20 seconds to go, and they're putting on a grandstand finish for us. And Gizzi's cut around the left eye in the closing seconds. Gizzi's got a cut near his left eye. It doesn't matter now because there's only about 5 seconds to go. But it's just one more mark, and you can like it's one more badge of courage for Carl Gizzi. And there's the bell that ends that unofficial eliminator. And Joe Bugner is the winner on points. And once again, this Albert Hall crowd boos him, and Bugner looks at Andy Smith and says, I don't know. What have I got to do? He's won another fight. He's got some cheers, but he's got a lot of boos as well. From Sheffield.